Welcome, all you 2D lovers out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, back again with another episode of Talking 2D. Here once again with my beautiful co-host,
the man with the iron giblets.
Yes, and we are back again to talk all things animation illustration, but specifically with our main topic, One Piece.
New chapter, new episode. Let's get it.
Alright, let's start off with chapter 1025. What part do you want to talk about first?
God, there was just so much, but I'm going to start with the turning the expectations on its head when it comes to Dragon Momonosuke. Because last panel of last chapter, we see a totally badass looking fucking Kaido-like dragon standing before Luffy. And then, the very next fucking time we see him, he's terrified to fly.
He's terrified,
and that's kind of hilarious.
He's terrified to stand up because he's just like, dude, even that height's a little too much, man.
He's so afraid of heights.
Which, honestly, I would have been.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I just love how Luffy's like, hey, we ain't got time for this bullshit, let's go. Chop chop.
Honestly, I would have been pretty mad if it wasn't the case. I'm just like, look, aging yourself doesn't magically mean you're capable or unafraid of things.
I mean, Shinobu even mentioned, like, listen, I will age your body up, but your mind will still be that really good. True.
Yeah, very true. Although, I don't know, I still feel some kind of way. It's just like, this kid sacrificed 20 years of his life. He's never going to have a normal life beyond this, even being a ruler of a country. Shit, the rest of his life's probably going to be shit to some degree. It's probably lucky that he's a ruler of a country at this point.
We'll see. While he still has the mind of a child, we have seen that while he was still a child, he learns how to, like, put his trust in the right kind of people. So,
yeah,
it's likely that he'll have some, like, retainers or advisors, or just people he trusts who will help him steer things in the right direction. At least I want to believe, like, One Piece seems to make a big deal of that sort of thing, like, especially for leaders of a country. They can't do it all by themselves. They need people they trust by their side, and, well, yeah. That's what I'm getting at here.
It's essentially like actual political leaders and stuff like that. It's just like, have good people in your pocket. Hopefully they won't stab you in the back and leave you high and dry.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's hard to know who wants what, because fucking hell, Kanjuro played a part his whole life and nobody suspected him.
Was willing to die for that part.
Uh-huh. And when they said, okay, your part's done, all these people who meant everything to him immediately meant nothing. It's like, damn.
But, I mean, Momo does eventually nut up and start flying. He just keeps his eyes closed, that's all.
Which is what makes the whole chapter fucking hilarious, because he just starts crashing through Onigashima.
It's like a worm through an apple, just burrowing its way through.
And of course, you see Luffy riding the top of this thing, and anyone who sees him flying past are just like, what the fuck? What did he do now?
Like, is that fucking Kaido? No, he's pink. Kaido can't change colors. What the fuck is that?
What bullfuckery is this? Is that Luffy on his head? What the fuck did you do, Luffy?
Oh, man.
It's like anybody who knows Luffy has to ask that question right away.
And it doesn't even seem like Momo's feeling it as he's going through the building. It's just like, I do not know what's going on. Where am I?
Apparently, Dragon Mode means you just don't feel it when you crash through shit. Everything is paper to you.
I mean, after a certain size, I would think that would be the case. Like, at most, it's probably like going through styrofoam after a certain point.
I would imagine so, but, we only can see a frame of reference in an animated format.
Yeah.
I would actually be kind of horrified to see something in real life be able to do that.
And he crashes through, like, every floor. Everyone gets to see this. Even Big Mom's like, what the shit, Kaido?
Has been made aware of the fact that there is now everyone now knows that there's a pink Kaido, in air quotes, flying around Onigashima, and they're just like, what the fuck?
My favorite panel has to be when Yamato is like getting ready to square back off against Kaido, and in the background you just see Pink Dragon flying in the distance screaming, and Kaido's just like, the fuck? Like, the shit is that? Oh, man.
Where they meet... It's the goddamn Spider-Man pointing panel. Who are you? It's rude to point. You pointed first!
Oh, man. He's just like, no, fuck another dragon. Who the shit are you?
And, okay, I'm definitely borrowing this from Grand Line Review, but he's definitely right. Kaido is just mad salty that he no longer has a thing that makes him unique anymore.
Like,
just think about it.
That's my shtick.
When he found out Luffy had Conqueror's Haki, he's like, man, we don't need any more Conquerors. And then now Momo's, showing up as a dragon. It's like, hey, we got too many dragons, motherfucker.
It's like, does anyone here have anything original? Like, the fuck? It's like, all you motherfuckers up here cribbing each other's style and shit. Like, god damn it. Oh, man. What are your thoughts on Yamato actually managing to throw down with their old man?
I was super into it. That fight was... I mean, it continues from the last chapter, but it was fucking incredible. Yamato is a powerhouse, if nothing else. I'm really excited. I really, really enjoyed the I'm just going to call it that Gaara thing, because, let's be real, we've seen this before with Gaara, and possibly in other media, but I don't know what else besides that one. It's still cool as hell!
Yeah. See, I'm glad you thought of it like that, because I'm just like, was that like Gaara's thing, but with ice? That's fucking cool.
Yeah! That's, so fucking cool.
No pun intended.
I just really like Yamato's Devil Fruit power, and, now I'm just kind of excited to see more. Like, there could be a lot more to it. There could be, that could be it. I'm not sure, but I like what I'm seeing anyway.
Yeah, and shit. It was only for a second, but Yamato did manage to bury their father's head right into the floor, and I'm just like, oh yeah!
It's like, hey, a good solid hit, except it's Kaido, so that probably means fuck all.
Pretty much. He just seems to, like, crack his neck a little bit, like, I kind of felt that. Alright, time to beat your ass. Like, there was, like, a solid panel of him just walloping on Yamato after Yamato went down, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude. And were you picking up on, like, Kaido kind of projecting his emotions onto Yamato a little bit there?
Yeah, just a bit. He was really, like, laying into him, not just physically, but verbally, and I'm just like, Kaido, I'm hearing a bit of the hurt there. You good, buddy? You good?
Like, friendship is a sham. It's all for show. Deep down, they fear you. You must rule others with strength. You're the child of ogres. You're not meant to be friends with humans. It's just like, that feels a little too personal right there. Also, ogres. Yeah. Ogre race. I wonder, like, is that what also Magellan and, what is the other guy's name? Hannibal? Yeah, I wonder if that's what they also are, because they have weird, like, horns and shit, too. Like, because we have all these races with horns and shit.
Like, now that you mention it, I'm not sure if it's, like, I can't rule it out as a possibility, honestly. It's lining up too well.
Yeah, because I kept thinking that maybe they were related to, like, ancient giants like Ors and shit, but, you have the numbers and shit, and they all grew to be around the same size as Ors and Ors Jr. But then you have Kaido throwing around the word ogre, which a lot of people thought they would be, like, Kaido was, like, part of an Oni race or some shit like that. But now, I mean, Oni and Ogre are kind of like synonymous. That's why you have Onigashima. But, and you even have Yamato being known as the Oni Princess, Ogre Princess, all that good stuff. And Black Maria was born in Wano on Onigashima or something like that. And you even have Ulti and Page 1 who have natural horns, and Kaido knew their father. And I'm just like, is there something here we're just building up to? Was there a race that we don't quite know of? I'm wondering.
I'm gonna run on the assumption that like the answer is yes to all the above, and that sooner or later we're about to get more than just the yes part of the answer. Like we're gonna get the full like Kaido flashback, like right at the last hour, because why the fuck not? Just to show us what led Kaido down his path.
Yeah.
Because we got that with Big Mom, we got that with Doflamingo. That's just kind of been a thing Oda likes to do in recent arcs, and I like it because, well, let's just be real. These are the characters that we're probably not going to see much of after all is said and done with them. So here's why they are the way they are. Bye.
Yeah.
We got like a brief glimpse with Rob Lucci back in Ennie's lobby, but they just kind of made it pretty straightforward and simple. It's just like, he's a sadistic motherfucker and he likes killing, and he's just been like this his whole life, so you don't need to feel too bad for him.
Yeah, it's just like, he's a crazy fuck. That's his backstory. Moving on.
Basically, like, he didn't even touch on a backstory with either Eneru or Crocodile. All you needed to know is Eneru has a god complex because he has a massively overpowered devil fruit. What else do you need to know? That's it.
Yeah.
Crocodile is just, some big bad mysterious dude, one of the recently hyped up 7 warlords of the sea. So, what more do you need? Big bad, ruining the country, must get ass beating. We don't need any more than that.
Well, much like with Arlong towards, like, around the time skip, we've had hints of Crocodile having some mysterious backstory and him clashing with Whitebeard at some point, which is kind of funny. It's just like, Crocodile clashes with Whitebeard and he still comes off as a bit of a badass. Moria clashes with Kaido and every little bit of badass you could have gotten from him just went right out the window.
I assume Kaido is the one who split his head and neck down the middle, so that's why he's got like those stitches there.
I mean, considering he didn't have them before he met Kaido, it's a pretty good assumption.
Yeah, and based on that, I have to assume that like Recovery was so much of a bitch that it just turned his head and neck area into a piece.
It's a good guess.
But I'm not really sure how to word this with Moria. We didn't really need to know that much about Moria. He offhandedly mentions that Kaido is the one who, stopped him from going any higher than where he was, and that was about it. We don't really get more of his backstory than that. We see him in like relevant flashbacks where he's relevant, but not much beyond that.
You don't really need that. All you need to know is just like the emperors have a tendency to stop a lot of pirates. It's just like, hell, it was even said not too long after we got into the New World. It's like you either team up with an emperor or you get crushed by them. And that pretty much went for most characters we knew, even those in the Warlords. Like Doflamingo teamed up with Kaido. Mihawk, he knows Shanks, so I have to assume there's some kind of a bit of an alliance there to a certain degree. Crocodile tried to take down Whitebeard.
Let's be real for a second. Mihawk, he's friends with Shanks, but I don't think it was because he's an emperor. It's just like, to him, Shanks was a good sparring partner up until he lost an arm. And that just makes me wonder, bro, what level are you at if Shanks doesn't seem like a challenge to you with only one arm and he's an emperor while you're a warlord?
Yeah.
What aren't you telling us, Mihawk?
Yeah, it's the funniest thing, too, because it's just like, Mihawk's the only one who comes out of the warlord still seeming like he could take on anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Well, him and Boa.
Yeah, honestly, we still haven't seen the full extent of Boa's abilities, and she's one of the few warlords we know has all three forms of Haki. It's just like, how strong is she?
I mean, based on that alone, we at least know she's strong enough that if the Navy comes at her, they really do got to bring that A game because, I mean, damn, she got them hands, and she got them titties, and she got them thighs, and she got that booty, and she got. I'm sorry, I'm getting horny.
Oh man, I would love to see Boa actually throw down for once.
Yeah, like a brief bit of that in Marineford, but not
to the levels we're seeing now.
Yeah, like she's not really pushing herself per se in battles. She's just kind of handling shit like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. In the Marineford battle, she had only one objective, and that was finding her underaged boy toy.
Let's not get into the weeds on that one. That's a whole nother conversation.
Fair, very fair. Anyway, yeah, but she didn't care about fight. Let's circle back to the chapter because we went off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
What else were we missing from the chapter?
Honestly, we kind of went over basically everything. It was just Yamato versus Kaido and Luffy and Momo pulling a never-ending story right through Onigashima. I did want to go into some of that trivia that was left out last week when we talked about the
Yeah, based on that, I guess we can start moving forward. The new SBS.
Yeah. I mostly wanted to talk about
right.
The fact that Onimaru has apparently a devil fruit.
Yeah, I heard about this one as well. Interesting take. I like the my interpretation of the English translation for it. It's the Hito no Mi. Oh my god, I cannot remember the name of this, but it more or less roughly translates to demon monk. So I like calling it human fruit model demon monk. I'm just like, that seems to work. Let's not make it complex, guys.
Yeah, it's called an Onyudo.
That was the word.
And it stands for like big monk. But you're pretty much right on the money, demon monk. It's kind of what Watatsumi is. I was watching another video and they were explaining it's just like Watatsumi's kind of in the same rough general area as an Onyudo.
Huh.
Ooh. There was also
big motherfucker.
Yeah. There was also a little bit of a detail about why Black Maria is the way that she is when she has the spider fruit, the Kumo Kumo no Mi model Rosmagalia gravageli. And apparently the reason why her spider form looks the way it does is because originally she would look like a regular spider or a hybrid spider, but she didn't like the way that looked, so she used drugs to alter her appearance.
Okay, I can respect that. I want to actually circle back to Sasaki's fight and his use of the Triceracopter.
Go for it.
So I remember when we commented on it at the time that it was easily one of the more creative uses of a Zoan fruit we've seen, but I feel like when we were talking about it, we forgot to bring up Kaku.
That's true. I thought we did kind of mention Kaku, but we didn't really go into too much detail on that.
No. But, well, we could see from if we use Kaku as an example, it kind of makes sense that Zoan fruits can kind of just bend the rules to do whatever the fuck they want, because, I mean, my god, the guy would pull parts of his body in, like longer parts, and then it would have to even out by stretching out the other shit. Pasta machine!
Yeah, that was kind of... that was something else. Just like, how does your body work like that?
The thing is, he manages... It's the, I have to assume it's like the Zoan wavelength transformation bullshit. I wish I could explain that better than that. That's I forget how I came to that conclusion, but I know there's some kind of explanation for it, but I can't think of it right off the top of my head apart from how I just explained it.
I mean, I guess you could explain it like they're already going through a transformation, and it's through that they're able to alter certain parts of their body to a certain degree. Because of that, I kind of like, whereas Chopper uses the Rumble Ball in order to transform his form, there's a lot of difference between his reindeer form, his human form, and his midpoint form, which, he calls his brain point and all that. So it does bring forward the question of, is there some kind of mental state they have to be in order to kind of alter their appearance, and that has some kind of reaction? I don't know.
We could think about it all day and theorize, but it ultimately has to be chalked up to like fantasy bullshit, because we're not going to get that much of an answer of it. All I can tell you is that zone types, their transformations, any sort of situation. But it seems to also be a thing where if you can be creative enough with your powers, you can find some unorthodox uses for them. Kaku, I have to give credit in terms of creativity. He was throwing shit at the wall and seeing what worked. He really was.
It was
in the middle of his fight with Zoro. It's just like, shit, how do I incorporate this whole giraffe thing into my fighting style? What works now? My body's all like weird. Like, I don't know. It might even just be the fact that his training in the 6 powers kind of gave him enough. I can't think of the right word with this, so I'm going to say it made him just in tune enough with his body that when he wanted to adjust something, his body kind of responded better than someone, like, for example, someone who has no training at all whatsoever in that sort. You get what I'm saying here? I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, I get it for the most part. It's
Okay.
just, it's one of those things that's hard to explain, but you can kind of get the overall gist of it to a certain degree.
More or less, I think what anybody should consider if they want to call this kind of shit into question is like, how does this work? Same way a normal body would function. So don't think too hard about it. Just don't.
Yeah. You'll hurt yourself.
You will absolutely hurt yourself.
But
did you have anything else you wanted to
add? Not really. That was it. Just Black Maria used something almost akin to the Rumble Ball to alter how she looks, because she's vain and kind of shitty, and maybe that also explains why her spider form is able to breathe fire and secrete poison and shit. So yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's entirely possible. Drugs can definitely affect zone powers at the very least. We've never really seen any drug-induced effects on like a paramecia or even a logia, as far as I can recall.
That is true. We don't really see stuff like that. That would be a great way of explaining why Katakuri is able to do all the wild shit he does.
Well, as someone who's handled mochi, it tracks. You can form it into whatever shape you want. That shit will be sticky, that shit will be stretchy, and that shit's fucking delicious. So yes, if he traps you under a mound of mochi, be ready to eat your way out.